Alright, so before we jump in straight into the game, I have two technical questions. One is for Wedge. Simon, you also took new foci for your character? Because I think Zach did the entire level up. I'm not sure if Wedge, you gave Wedge
Hold
new.
up.
Oh, I think. Oh, okay. Now I checked, and yeah, you took it. Okay, cool.
Kevin, two new foci.
Okay, yeah, I see. You took the Expertise Armor and
He
United We Stand.
pretty bungled.
No, I see it now. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's good. You are good with disarming. Yeah, you took some skill levels in shoot. That's good. Okay, and second question, because Simon took United We Stand, it's kinda important. I remember that I didn't really touch upon aid action, because in vanilla, when you are aiding someone in a skill check, you essentially have to make the same DC. You can use different skills and attributes, but you essentially have to pass the same DC, which in some weird cases means that, for example, if a player has to roll against DC of 12 or 14, which is extremely high, it's very unlikely that anybody. Oh, uh, okay. Sorry, I didn't. Wasn't aware. There are some technical issues. I mean, I heard that you were saying something about the Windows update, but I thought that, it's downloading in the background and not really interrupting the game. And that's fine too.
Sucking up all the connection issues.
Oh right, right, downloading it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, so we'll talk about the aid action. By the way, Zach.
Yo.
Depending on how the situation might go and what actions will you take, there's a chance you might fight with a nemesis foe.
Ooh.
Because I thought about what happened and what would make sense in terms of escalation and how to tie that into your goal of acquiring weapons. And yeah, it might be fun.
So since I've improved now, I'm probably going to be keeping cloak powers up.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that you took. Yeah. Went hard into psionics. Yeah, which.
I didn't go fully into psionics. I did put other skill points and stuff, like I improved just one. I improved notice. Next level, actually no, next level we can go up to skill 2, so. That was my plan though, was just
Yeah, I mean
with
that's.
Simon being a skill monkey, I was good to go specialist.
That's completely fine. Right on.
Since I am now both the tank and the healer of the group.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be needed, seeing that you don't really have sneak. It might be relevant.
Does Simon?
No.
1 second.
No,
I
both.
just figured you could look at the sheet for him. We both don't. Wonderful.
Yeah. Although Simon did take several skills, like fix. No, fix was before, pilot was before, but like perform, no, notice, shoot.
Why is the update stuck at 99%?
I mean that's Windows for you.
Uh-huh.
Although to be fair, I mean I was really worried when I was switching to Windows 10 because I heard a lot of horror stories about how the updates bork the system, how they make like basically it's like problematic. So far I'm using it for quite some time, not a single issue.
What is?
Not a single issue with Windows 10.
Oh.
Compared to what I heard about it, like some people had like a lot of technical problems with it. I had none so far.
How long have you been using it?
I'm pretty sure for more than a year.
Well,
definitely more than a year.
The big issue is Windows updates are notorious for breaking stuff.
I mean, yeah, I already had some, like the major ones that like fix, and so far, I mean, sure,
Yep,
maybe.
so what you do is when there's a new update, you don't update right away. Wait like a week, then update. Usually you can just wait a couple days, but if there is something that can break your computer in an update, it'll happen to someone else. They'll report it and it'll get fixed.
That might be the case. I need to check something because. Okay, connect, talk. Perform, administer, connect, trade.
So here's a question. I've been playing a lot of Metro Last Light and 2033 lately, and I was wondering if there was a suitable RPG system that could emulate of being played in the Metro universe.
Is there any fantastical elements about Metro, or is it just like post-apocalyptic sci-fi kind of stuff.
There are anomalies. Basically like in Stalker.
Never played that.
There are certain spirits, I guess, more like shadows that linger on.
I haven't read through that topic, but I just googled, and one of the first like Reddit threads it shows up. It's people throwing suggestions what system works.
I mean, D20 Modern.
And here's another one. By the way, Simon, is your update still going?
Still stuck at 99%, but I believe it's not interfering with the call anymore.
Okay, so I will try to continue explaining the second, like this technical detail about the 8 actions. Yeah, as I was saying, normally in vanilla, when somebody wants to aid one another with an action, they have to pass the same DC skill check, which sometimes is impossible because you have to roll against DC 12 or 14. So it's like not many people can help you, even though they have like different skill sets and they might figure out a different way how to help you. And obviously there's also a problem that even if you try to help on lower DC, like DC 10, the aiding person has to roll first. So there's this issue that they might just eat a good roll. So they like roll 6, 5, and like the next person rolls like 1, 2, and like it doesn't matter that they help because they like if they have eaten like the good roll. So I thought about it and patched up like a quick handout, and basically there are 2 variants that we can try. I mean, technically we can stay with vanilla 8 action, or yeah, there are like 2 variants that I've came up with. The basic one, which means that depending on what you are trying to do to aid a person, the DC might be different. And the other one, and I'm borrowing Fate thing from Fate Accelerated or maybe even Core, that if you, for example, if you are in the combat or just if you're doing anything and you like commit your main action, which like you pay with your action economy, and you explain how you are helping, then you just provide the bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the Fate one a bit more. If there's rolling, I actually like the Warhammer system way of doing it, where it's based off of the number of successes, but this system doesn't count successes.
Yeah, it's a different system.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, depending on the variant, some foci, like the United Withstand foci, might get either stronger or less strong.
I do not know what that one does.
Although I think the level 1 should still be okay. Yeah, level 1 United Withstand, even if we go with the Fate variant. A United Withstand Zach does that when you are helping someone, your successful skill check gives a +2 bonus instead of +1.
Oh, okay.
So, which variant you wish to prefer? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say we can go with the Fate variant as well.
Okay. Although if you don't mind me suggesting, I would prefer if the action like you have to spend to aid is like if you for example if you are doing this in combat, then it's a main action to like give like this cost
that's
of
fair.
action economy.
That's what it'd be normally anyways, right?
Yeah, technically, although I need to like look
So I
at
thought it was a main action to use a skill.
I need to look at move action. Technically in the homebrew I've said that skill can be used either as a move or main action. But yeah, 8 is like, you know, separated.
That's fair.
Yeah, so in our variant, like 8 action, I need to like add that in. 8 variant Fate Fudge. 8 is main action always. Okie dokie. Okay, that explains the. I think that was all the technical stuff I wanted to go through. Okay, now jumping into the game itself. Last time you have dealt with some rats, as in you've took upon yourself to deliver a package that was previously the previous deliverer. The postman was jumped on and almost killed, but using your abilities you managed to deliver it to another criminal gang boss called Bas Lenny, and it turned out that you delivered an information that spoke about rats in the Undercity, the people that willingly, for the most part, worked with the tyrannical government, that were selling information, that were keeping tabs on people, and just added to this illusion that some portions of the Undercity had like more freedom, while in fact the government kept an eye out, and they kept this whole situation as a means of like safety event. But now that's changed. Obviously there is like this calm before the storm, because even Bas Lenny implied that what's gonna happen will not be unanswered, and there will be like payback slash punitive action. But some days will pass in which Bas Lenny and Ivan will task you with some mostly smaller tasks, like nothing so big and grand like your first trip. And definitely the atmosphere in the Undercity, I'm just gonna call that your district or your section of the bad part of the city, just Undercity. Like something definitely changes. Normally, sure, murder and like poverty and all of that bad stuff wasn't uncommon, but you are definitely finding or hearing, like where if the rats are concerned, there are like shanked people in the dark alleyways. There are like some, maybe not exactly public, but somebody's living like hanged person in like visible.
People getting lynched.
Yeah, exactly, like lynching. And with each passing day, like this tension, this fear, anticipation of what's going to happen grows, and you try to keep, or rather you try, like I imagine like every day you check out your like dead drops or like communication channels, because I assume because you took contacts and you spoke that one of your contacts is somebody in the upper city, like not high ranking, but some like mid ranking, or basically somebody in the uh, government structure. So yeah, you check up from time to time to see if any messages come from them, with like hoping that they actually will know when something's going to happen. And yeah, I mean, we can start with a question like how you pass those days. I mean, as I said, like you get some tasks, and I would imagine that you are making some deals with boss Lenny, that for the jobs you're doing, you're getting not maybe large crates of stuff, but like a couple more guns there. Like nothing grand because he's like working towards like a big shipment, and that takes
Mhm.
time.
For the most part, between little jobs for them, normal cab jobs, and we're probably moving the crates to whatever little, like, if it is just the basement of whatever house we're probably renting is, then that, but I'd imagine we'd probably try to have like a separate location. Maybe just like a storage facility.
Yeah, like just hired a storage shed under an alias.
Yeah, I imagine that even if you don't ask, like boss Lenny at some point is like, gentlemen, I'm not gonna be telling you how you should run your business.
I don't know how common these are in outside of the US, but something like that.
I am aware of that. Yeah, maybe not looking exactly the same, but yeah. But my suggestion, just try to diversify and like spread this stuff. I'm before the hammer comes down. I'm in the process of spreading my operations and like moving them elsewhere, and it would be prudent not to what's the old Terran saying, right, not keep all the eggs in one basket.
That is a very good point. And so, without telling him, I will go ahead and start doing that, because I have credits to earn.
We have 7 days.
No, not 7 days. I'm just like, don't worry about them. I'm just like rolling for the
Just whether or not I'm taking the
NPC
information and
yeah, and I would say that doing this like jobs over the couple next days, you can write in another 300 credits on your character sheet.
I'd say I'd probably be using that to get storage facilities.
Yeah, that's fair. I was going to say like yeah, the extra jobs. Actually, yeah, instead of like writing money, like you can like the extra money gives you like storage facilities, paying for them, and I would also say like it can pay for your life needs like food and whatnot.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to see if any of you have connect, but no. as a skill check, because I remember you took connections. Okay, so we are doing that.
Like our connection with the man up top might even just be he literally just sends us like a physical letter.
It
or
might,
the equivalent thereof, but
it might be because yeah, he's definitely, and the yeah, messages are not that.
it might be like a recorded message that's physical, but like recorded on something.
Yeah, definitely there has to be like some layers of protection, because yeah, things going from upper city to like other sections, the security at the borders between the like districts is usually pretty tight. It's
I
not.
feel like they'd be more worried about stuff going the other direction though.
That's fair. That's fair. Although, yeah, I mean it's a tyrannical government, so if you think that secret police doesn't spy on their own people, like the even higher ups, is like
Oh, of course.
don't trust anyone, not even yourself. Okay, so with you spreading stuff out and doing like enough days pass, I would say like after a week, some of the tension starts. I mean, those who know better, they keep wary and even more wary considering how long it takes. But some of the others slightly, their mental capacity is slightly lowered due to the fact that they either cannot get the good drugs that counteract the drugged food and water, or just the toxins that are occasionally sprayed throughout the city through the venting system. All of this stuff that helps keeping a population docile. And at least Roman and others try to like keep on living their regular lives for a given value of regular. And during one of those days, as it's close by, that Boss Lenny sent you some hours ago a message that after like another one of your courier jobs, that he's preparing a larger shipment for you, but that will have to like wait for a moment. And Roman calls you in, and rather calls you in, like he's like, guys, one of our taxis broke down, like in the Undercity, but like quite a distance away, and they, of course, he fucking drunk beforehand, and he forgot to take his toolbox, and I'm not even sure he can connect the proper wires. You mind giving him a hand?
Seriously, why is he always drunk? Fine, we'll get on it.
Yeah, I'd say that his
How
name
does he always
is...
get that expensive alcohol?
I'd say that his name is Kapustin.
Kapustin.
Yeah. Random Russian name generator.
Where does he always get that vodka?
You don't want to know how is it made. It's like vodka from Metro when they like make it. It's not even vodka. They make it like from mushrooms and.
Oh yeah, I remember.
They just call it vodka with quote marks.
Yeah. Just like either you have, instead of coffee with question marks, not question, with quotation marks, is like either like decaf, like low quality decaf, or just something that's a black substance that sure you can drink, but it like looks and has like this aftertaste of an oil.
Yeah. I'll hop in and drive us over there. Cough, cough, look ma, no hands. I won't do that. Just drive with telekinesis.
I mean, it's not like you have.
I'm just imagining the two of us T-posing as we levitate fools.
I mean, it's not like there's a lot of police around here, or if there is any police that would like stop you for driving.
Just like I've got like my feet up on the dash, and I'm like eating lunch, drinking a coffee, and like the car's just driving.
Oh,
Is that a self-driving car? Yes, it is.
That's
Cough,
a good one.
cough.
Yes, it belonged to the famed millionaire Elon Musk.
Yeah. Yeah. As you arrive, it's I would say closer to Lenny's territory, and he's like when he moved a portion of his operations, but still like tentatively like where like Ivan operates. Kind of like a middle ground, and considering
Mhm.
Ivan sold information last time, so the relations are very much cordial, and going with the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And yeah, you see, obviously the Roman's taxi that obviously Kapustin had apparently a little bit too much, even for him, because he like apparently swerved and just smashed the front of the taxi on a like not a telephone pole, but one of the like light
Light pole.
poles or
Yeah.
something similar. It's not completely wrecked, but yeah, you will need a little bit of time and like good set of hands to fix this, so at least you can drive it like it's drivable to at least go back to the garage.
I'll just like look at Capstan and be like, "What job were you on?"
Nothing important, some low qualities. Just don't worry about it.
I'm gonna check the trunk.
Yeah, I would say that yeah, Kapustin, his tendency is known, and I'm pretty sure even if Roman is like not a genius of logistics, he would not put Kapustin on like important job.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So as you like check it, I'd say that it was like he actually was doing like taxi work for once. Or rather,
Oh, nice.
he managed to deliver a client from one location to another, and then as he was driving, he like crashed. So at least the good news is that he didn't crash with a client inside.
The bad news is I'm pretty sure that client's gonna find a new taxi service.
No, the client already. Oh yeah, from the way that the Kapustin drove,
Yes.
probably. Although it's not that many taxi businesses around, so beggars can be
So
choosers.
I was gonna say, you might just have to make sure that he can't choose another taxi service.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
I
What do
haven't
you
played
say
that
we
game.
fix this up?
Oh yeah,
And
I'll play it.
we fix this up, and one of us, and we both drive each car back.
Yeah.
Just get it so it's at least drivable, so we can get it back to the garage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that yeah, you definitely knew what you were getting into. So like Dorman provided, even if you don't have your own, Dorman provided like a toolbox and some spare materials just in case, just enough so you can like kickstart the engine into life.
Hmm.
So definitely I would like to ask you to make a fix skill check with DC of 10. Even if you don't succeed, you will still I mean, you will be able to repair it, but like time, it might take more time.
Alright.
I would like to aid him.
And time.
Let's see. It's a dexterity attribute or wisdom or intelligence.
I would say you mostly like coming here with like your instinct as a mechanic and driver, like knowing, I mean, like feeling how to like repair this. I would say like it's based off wisdom.
Could you use intelligence if you wanted?
Intelligence
Just
or
knowing how to
wisdom.
fix it.
Intelligence or wisdom, sure, but not dexterity exactly.
But I was planning on helping using like pilot, like controlling the car correctly, like while he's trying to help fix it.
Dang nabbit.
But it looks like it's a fail anyways.
Yeah, I rolled a 2 and a 1.
As for a pilot, I wouldn't exactly be like, not sure if that will work. To be honest, I would rather by like helping with telekinesis, so like when Wedge has to like pull out something or like do something with suspension, and then like you can keep the engine from below, so it doesn't like fall down, and like Wedge has like more room to operate.
I'd be fine doing that, just as long as it's like not obvious.
Yeah, I can think in this situation you can make it not obvious.
Just like he's done working on the engine, and like I'm just like kind of shifting the car up, but like
Yeah.
I'll just act like I'm fucking strong or something.
Uh,
Like I'll just pull up on the car and use telekinesis with it.
Okay, so still with your help, that's 7, and the question remains: does that result stays, or which do you use your auto success per scene?
Nah, I don't feel like extending a second roll on just fixing a car.
Wouldn't be a second roll, just be the 12 for a scene roll, but I agree with not using it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I was saying about time, you will quite quickly realize that time becomes important in this situation. Because I would say that for a moment, like you become like focused and enthralled with your work, especially Wedge, because well, he has +1 to fix, so that means he did a lot of repairs in his life, so he like feels it. Even though this is like a harder case to crack, it still works. So with a little bit of delay, you start catching up that there are like sounds coming from the outside. You hear the echoes of warning sirens, of multiple things flying through the air, and you realize as the people, it's not that like crowded. As I said, you can Ivo is helping in a way that it's not obvious that he's using psionics. Somebody would literally like have to walk up to you, like inspect what you are doing, and like people here.
Don't walk up to people.
Yeah, people here try to keep their distance because you never know if you don't get shanked or like, or they are just docile and just like like clockworks moving, like going with their daily boring lives.
Mm.
And there's like not that much interaction. But yeah, there are still some around, like in the hearing and visible distance, that you see that they get more pale, and they like start talking to one another with hushed tones, and they like start moving quicker towards like somewhere, either like to another street or try to find like into the building.
Hell is everybody going?
And
Bingo?
As soon as I hear the sirens, I'd be like, we need to get to an alley now. Screw the
Alright.
car. Screw the cars, and I'm just gonna like drag Tepeston with us.
yeah, and then like through the PA system, like nice, pleasant sounding female voice, slightly synthetic because obviously it's like a automatic message, echoes throughout the PA system in the city, in the Undercity, obviously from those speakers that managed to survive after they were installed last time. Attention! The government presence is now in effect. Please cooperate to ensure your safety.
I was like, my idea is just go like find an alleyway and just probably like find an abandoned building to break into.
Actually, I mean, you have some options in front of you, because obviously when this happens, you are still like halfway through the repairs. So you might attempt to find a hiding place, which would involve stealth sneak checks. They are not that, or something, or other skill check if you can like convince me that other skill checks also works for hiding, although like sneak is probably the best. Or you can attempt to like just throw Kapustin into your car and just bolt it back towards either like one of your hiding places or just taxi company that will just lock down as another business, and that would involve a pilot check.
I kind of don't want to leave the car because
Yeah.
reasons. So my idea was we try to more than just stealth. We try to like or sneak. Try to find like an abandoned house or something that I can like look into the window of. Because I can just like pop inside, unlock the door, pull us all in, and close it.
Okay, sure.
So I think that would be notice then.
Like get to a good, find a good hiding place, sure.
To
But
try to
because
find
you are
one.
going that way, yeah, the DC would still be 10.
Right. Simon, are you helping in some way?
Yeah, I'm basically
Also, what's your
looking
notice?
around as well. My notice is 1.
Oh, I'll be helping Simon look around. I'll let him be the one to roll.
Since I'm getting its wisdom.
Yeah. And probably like you
Yeah.
like support one another because half of your attention is focused on Kapustin that you drag with you.
I'll be the one focused on dragging him probably, but I'll be helping him.
Do you move your cars in any way, or rather your car, because your car is movable at least?
I would have like parked it so it wasn't like in the way. So I'll just kind of leave it there. I'll like have the doors locked and stuff and lock up the tools, but
so with Zach, because I don't think the roll added that +1 from Zach, I think that means it's 10. So that it passed.
Then I'm just gonna try to like find a window or even like just like a hole in the wall that I can look through.
Yeah, as you set up in one of the abandoned, like mostly abandoned building or floor, because obviously.
What I'll basically do is I'll have Wedge hold Capiston, and then like go do it out of sight. But
yeah, okay. Yeah. As first, when you heard that there's either a siren and then like sounds of something moving through the air, you see in this not sky itself, because like you know the undercity, and then you have like this stacked like hive.
just
city.
the air.
Yeah, like in the air, on the backdrop of like metal and chrome, you barely manage, but you do spot multiple drones. Obviously, they are not converged on your position like in this section of the city, and they are like spraying out throughout the undercity. But you definitely see like the military drones that are, you know, scouting the area from up above. Some of them might not be armed, but this is not a gamble you will probably nobody will want to take. And yeah, they are like providing vision from the sky, and then other sounds come in, sounds of heavier stuff, vehicles, and it echoes from different parts of the city, but as it happens on a street maybe not next to you, or like in visible distance, you see an armored personal carrier, APC, armed with like heavy machine gun, and probably like basically armed and APC surrounded by, as they are like walking in a combat like column formation covering the vehicle, squad like a platoon worth of soldiers. And platoon by I mean like between 20 to 30 troops, and these are like definitely looking like soldiers. Like they have regular combat armor. Although most of them, actually all of them, apart from as you identify a like officer or like a field leader, they have still like tech level 3 technology, so they are not walking around with like tech level 4 like laser pistols or plasma guns. And they are not so far spreading throughout like buildings, like searching block by block. It seems like they are moving into like specific sections of the city. This one might even go like towards like where former boss Lenny's headquarters were. And these guys are not even like talking that much. They're like, rather you don't hear they are saying anything, but you will start hearing like gunshots, screams as they are apparently even in your vicinity. Like you see someone like somebody in the other building was apparently also like trying to like take a peek and watch what's going on, but they are not as stealthed. And like you see like 2 or 3 guys just like opening up with their combat rifles, just spraying the already half broken window with bullets. Yeah, it seems like
I'm gonna go ahead and activate my telekinetic armor too.
yeah, it seems like they are out for blood, and they are pretty much not care if they are gonna shoot. Like the concept of innocence apparently doesn't exist in their heads.
Stop resisting!
Seeing how the operators lay, they are like, you can expect if somebody is very unlucky and they are cut out in the streets, yeah, they'll be like either shot on sight or like be a part of an like mass execution, like line up at the wall and just like shooting them. If they are more lucky, they might get either like kneecapped or like injured / slightly tortured for information. Yeah, obviously you don't have like the exact number, but considering that you also hear like the vehicles moving from other parts, like you are pretty sure that they didn't send just this one platoon here. Like this is a larger punitive operation. And now the question is, because you are pretty sure that it's not like they will just come in for an hour or 2 and just leave. It might take longer than that.
I am
how is Kasputin doing, by the way? Is he just sleeping it off, or?
Yeah, for now, I would say that like as he was drunk and he like put in like sit here, and he's like yeah, he was like slightly gibbering, but then he just like he's like snoring.
I personally believe that waiting might be best, even if it does take a while.
Might not have a choice in the matter. Fine.
I do not want to fight a platoon.
Neither do I.
I mean, like the main platoon moves through, like it disappears from your side, but Yeah, you can expect that like moving back to your like main location, main base and whatnot. Like maybe the soldiers will start springing out in a search pattern.
But like, my big thing is we'd probably get spotted by a drone, and the drone would call in troops, and I don't want to fight troops. And destroying drone is also a bad idea, because then they know a drone can get destroyed and where it was.
One head through on the other. I imagine that at least some of the people like you started spreading weapons around, at least some of them. So that you began arming people. So maybe you won't be the only one that will shoot down drones. Okay, let's see.
I mean, I can shoot down a couple drones and see what the fuck happens. Kick the hornet's nest. Worse than where kick the hornet's nest after someone stuck a firecracker in it.
Yeah. Okay, as the time goes by, there's this one moment when you like hold your breath, because a smaller patrol, because apparently like as I said, the larger sections like spread around to like scan the area, and like you see 3-man patrol like walking about. They take a peek. They don't go inside. They like look at the alleyway. They look at one another. See anything? Nah. Fuck it, let's go. Because they don't manage to spot your car and then get curious enough to investigate. Okay, I need to consider would you get the message directly to your compass? No. Actually, I would imagine that when your contact from the upper city leaves you a message, obviously you have to like retrieve the message yourself, but like the fact that a message was left, you might get like an information, like an automatic like message that, like a post that it was delivered to your thing. So on your compass you might get like a automated message that delivery received, and then just like a string of numbers and letters, which you can, because it's your thing, you can decipher and know that it's probably from your like contact up above.
How far away is it?
I mean, it's your call. Where do you set up the drop point? If this is like nearby your location, not your present location, but
imagine
your
it'd
base.
probably be different ones, and like the numbers and letters would be like coordinates, basically. That's what I was thinking it was when you mentioned that.
It's relatively nearby, but it still will force you to like move out, either through the city or through the, I'd say at least in this portion, like some portion of the sewers are like usable to like move through.
Think we should go check it out, or at least one of us? If it's just one, I might be the best one to go look.
Okay, I'm gonna say that also the second message comes as you like start discussing things. This one is not automated, but you imagine it was bounced off from several hacked towers and like makeshift relays, like, you know, small. Basically like the entire second-hand like underground information system. It is also a text message. It doesn't have an author because obviously like people using that are hiding their identities. And yeah, the message says, and you get a feeling that it's addressed to you, but obviously the author doesn't mention any names, and it says cargo in danger, or rather shipment in danger, raid in progress, could use some help.
Ooh. Now should we both go help, or
In that case, yes. What do we do with him?
I say let him sleep it off,
Alright.
and then basically write him a note to get to the car, to get to our car, and drive it back to the shop.
Sounds good. Just like send him a little note, message in the compad to when you wake up. Just use our car to drive back to work.
Yeah, maybe he won't crash this one.
Hopefully he'll be somewhat sober. I'll make sure there's no alcohol near him.
P.S. Crash the car and it's on your head.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing to do. And yeah, if you as a players don't like recall, then your characters would like get a light will tilt up because yeah, you got message earlier that like the bigger shipment as a reward for your services was being prepared, so you imagine it's connected.
Yeah. So we should go to the one that's in danger first, if it's not the same one.
It's not. They are in relative vicinity, but it sounded like the shipment being raided and in danger, it has like a higher priority,
Yeah.
or is more time sensitive.
Just the fact that it's time sensitive in the other one probably is, but not as much.
Yeah, and your characters might suspect that what's inside. If this is like your upper city contact, you might suspect that. Yeah, we probably know what he would wanted to warn us about, but too bad it's a little bit too late.
It could be that, could be something else, but let's go help our friend Lenny.
Yeah, as you move out, I'm gonna be nice and say you don't have to like roll for sneak when going through the city or the sewers. The sounds of, well, government forces being present slightly intensify, depending on through which block you move on. But the sounds of gunfight or like just people, not like exchanging fire, but just like somebody shooting, they're definitely increased in quantity. And I would imagine that going through the like dark alleyways and sewers and whatnot, like you will definitely stumble upon some unlucky fuckers who got nailed and they are just like already dead, their bodies left to rot on the streets.
Tell me if I find anyone that's, like, freshly dead. Actually, wait, never mind. I probably would not want to use that on freshly dead people unless I knew them.
What?
I can bring people. I can bring people back from the dead if it's been less than 6 rounds.
It's like bleeding out. If they are dead, they are dead. It's like when you are dropped to 0 hit points or below 0 hit points, you start bleeding out. And if you heal them within 6 rounds, you can save them. But after 6 rounds, they just like bleed out and they are like dead completely.
Well,
There is
One of the abilities they can get later includes if they're missing their head or have suffered injuries from heavy weapons. So
technically, yeah, there is this power, and obviously there, but that's higher level, and plus like the highest level power is like resurrection, pure resurrection. If you have like the
DNA of them.
tools necessary, it's like level 4, and I think it's only for Biopsanic himself or themselves. But anyways,
Anywho,
okay. Yeah, give me a moment.